Hey guys, I'm back to another game review. Today we're concluding the Uncharted trilogy with Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception, released on the PlayStation 3 and the PlayStation 4. Right off of the success of Uncharted 2, what was Naughty Dog going to do next? On December 8th, 2010, they announced their next project. Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception was revealed to the world. I found this worldwide trailer to give off a much more serious tone and a story that I was dying to know. I was excited for the game to come out, but not necessarily hyped for it. When Infamous 2 came out, it came with the Uncharted 3 multiplayer beta. When I was playing the beta, I was enjoying myself, but not to the extent that I had with Uncharted 2's multiplayer. 3's multiplayer added these new ability boosters, which are kind of like perks from Call of Duty, and enhancing the abilities of your character. 2's multiplayer did not have any of this, which I felt made the multiplayer a lot better. Because of these additions, I didn't play the multiplayer beta as much, but Naughty Dog did continuously update and patch the game for balancing reasons, and to this day, Uncharted 3's multiplayer beta is, and I quote, the largest online beta to ever appear on the PlayStation 3. When the game finally released on November 1st, 2011, many video game critics gave the game really high scores like 9 out of 10s and 10 out of 10s. I suddenly wanted to play this game for myself. I purchased the game and I finished it on the same day. I wasn't entirely sure if I had rushed the game through or if the game was just short. And actually, the game is just short. It's around 9 hours long compared to Uncharted 2's 11-hour adventure, and the shortest game out of the entire trilogy actually goes to Uncharted 1. I was actually surprised by that. It clocks in at around 8.5 hours on Uncharted 2's 11-hour adventure, then Uncharted 3's 9-hour adventure. So the time between all three of these games is sort of close. Uncharted 3's story takes place 2 years after the events of Uncharted 2. Nathan and Sully are in a pub in London. A man is interested in purchasing Nate's ring, which belongs to his ancestor, Sir Francis Drake. That man goes by the name of Talbot. They then discover that the money is fake and they try to call the deal off. A fight breaks out within the pub, and once it continues outside, they meet Catherine Marlowe. She manages to steal Nate's ring. Then Nate and Sully are shot and left for dead. Flashing back 20 years prior to everything, we play as young Nathan and see how he met Sully and how Marlowe comes into this. Going back to present day, we find out the ring Marlowe stole is fake and the man that shot Nate and Sully, Charlie Cutter, is actually on Nate's side. Now it's up to Nate and Sully to track down Marlowe and stop whatever she's doing. Flashing back 20 years into the past was a very interesting section for the story. It only happened in the beginning of the game, so I do feel like Nate's past should have been explored a little bit more, but if they did, the pacing of the game may have been off. Also, Nate as a character grew a lot throughout this adventure. Nate clashes with a lot of his friends in terms of egos, more so than he did within the first and second game. As the story progressed, he met new characters, experienced new things, and it just made him seem more mature by the end of all of it. The amount of plot twists that this story takes is amazing, and I love it. You won't expect some of the outcomes within this game. The set pieces make a return, but bigger. Set pieces like having to escape a chateau as it's on fire and hanging halfway out of a plane. I wouldn't necessarily say better than Uncharted 2 set pieces because I found Uncharted 2 set pieces to be a lot more stunning and more realistic. On top of this, the set pieces within Uncharted 2 were just more memorable to me. My only problem with the story is that Marlowe's motive is never really told to us, or I don't really remember the game telling me. I feel like because of this, Nate and Sully are kind of just following her until she does something really bad. And it probably had to go and do something with them going into their base and looking at some of the stuff. I don't know. I'm assuming that she's going after treasure because that's what she was trying to get. I'm not exactly sure. Overall, I found the story to be awesome, but not exactly revolutionary. You'll have a good time watching Nathan Drake explore the world once again. The gameplay is almost identical to Uncharted 2's gameplay. You'll be platforming, shooting, and exploring the world in order to progress. Gunfights are plenty, platforming is just as stellar as it was before, and the world itself just looks great. The amount of detail and polish this game has is fascinating. When you hit the desert area, watching the sand move along with Nate is technologically amazing. Probably the best looking game on the PlayStation 3 before The Last of Us came around. So what are my final thoughts on Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception? It's a great PlayStation exclusive. It has a good story, solid gameplay, and a phenomenal presentation. So if you guys have not already picked this title up, I would highly recommend you do so. So thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys next time with more videos. Game on, gamers!